Hey Jay, good to see you, man.
Hey, good to see you too.
All we do all day is yeah, all day. Like for months, it doesn't matter where we are. That's all we do. We come in and we do chit, and we're like, man, going to Long John's. I mean, it has consumed us in ways that I never thought I would have imagined. So first of all, congratulations, because you have. It's I have a lot of questions about, like very granular questions about your success with this character. In that, how long, not did you have Chit, but how long ago did you create the first episode, and what was the expectation before you put it out?
Yeah, the first episode was created like 2.5 months ago now, and there was no expectation that it would do anything close to what it did. It was meant to be a one-off. Kyle and I, the co-creator of the show, Kyle Kennedy, we filmed it just kind of for fun at Groundlings, which is where we're both main company members. And the response was nice enough that we did another one. And then it snowballed from there into what has become a full-time commitment, but one that we're grateful for.
So the first episode, at least the one that we all shared, and I'm assuming is the Black Purse episode. Is there a black person here? Is that the first one?
That's actually the 7th episode.
No way!
Wow,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the very first one?
The very first one was me in the office as Chit, of course, and I was typing nonsense into Word. I was just typing like gibberish. And Kyle was kind of spying on me as my coworker, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Working on the budget." And it was a simple first one. I threw out Subway too. Like I wanted to go to Subway for lunch, which became a recurring joke. But yeah, that laid the groundwork for a character who thought that he was being helpful. He was being a good employee when really maybe that wasn't the case.
So was the Black Purse episode the one that took it to a different level?
Totally, yeah. We had gained some traction with the first 6 videos. Like people were liking the character, obviously enough that Kyle and I decided to keep making them. And then Black Purse took it to like the stratosphere of like, oh, okay, this is what a meme is. And we're like, okay. So that's how most people found us. And it's funny that most people think that's the first episode. There's comments on that video, multiple, that say the one that started it all. It's funny because it's not, but it's, for many people, it was the start of their journey with Chit. So
was that to you guys the funniest one, or were you surprised that that's the one that people gravitated to?
We thought that it was funny for sure. I remember when I saw the final cut of it, I was like, I think we did this the right way. I think we hit it just right, because it's a little iffy, of course. I mean, that's what makes it so or titillating, is because it's a little edgy. It's right on that sort of line. But I was like, I think we got this just right. And sure enough, it seemed to resonate with people. But I think the funniest for us sometimes are actually the ones that are slightly more character based. Black Purse is very funny, and you see plenty of Chit's character, but it's really the bit of the wordplay in that one that works so well. But some of the ones that I think we like the most are the ones that show Chit in his truest form.
The one that I was super surprised by, because I have questions about you specifically too, but the one I was surprised by was you hanging from the bar and just your abs are like ripped. Like people had to be so surprised that Chit was ripped.
They were. We were hopeful that would be the case, because we wanted to play up Chit's like duality. There's 2 sides to him, and those 2 sides are what keep people on their toes. You never really know what he's going to do next, but there's a strange capability to what seems like his relative ineptitude. He actually is quite capable and actually excels in a lot of areas you wouldn't expect, which I think makes him exciting.
Talk to a lot of artists, and even myself included, like why I moved to Nashville. I'm not from Nashville, but you kind of have to move to this hub in order to have a hub and a community, a like-minded community, a creative community. And so what is your story? Where did you grow up? And I'm not sure if you grew up in LA or not. And then if not, why did you move? You did live in LA? You grew up in LA?
I did not grow up in LA. No, I grew up in Indiana.
Okay.
Carmel,
so
Indiana.
what's your move to LA story?
I moved to LA when I was 18 to pursue acting, and it's about as simple as that.
And did you have any, because I've looked and I've seen some of the things, mostly just on TikTok when it's like Jay Renshaw in real life. Like that's always the bottom thing. And so I click it and I watch like little like appearances you had of all different levels. Did you get close
Yeah.
to doing what you wanted to do ever, like on a massive scale, and it just didn't work out? Or did you have certain things that you were like, I'm so passionate about this, I only want to write and create my own thing until I get it?
I mean, I don't think I ever reached the level of not, I don't want to say fame at all, but of awareness of me that people might have now before this moment. There is some fun mini successes, I will say, along the way, like getting roles in certain shows, very small roles, albeit, but still, great fun. But no, this is by far and away the most attention I've received since moving to LA. And I'm just hoping. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I would just keep going.
Oh, I was just saying that, hopefully I can translate Chit to other avenues as well. Not like, I mean, I say step away from the character a little bit to also keep pursuing projects as myself, or, as other roles, other characters I might create, or other roles I might play.
Have you had companies come to you and just offer you money now to put on a streaming service?
There have been some exciting offers, but nothing is final and nothing is for certain. Right now, we're just all, I shouldn't even say offers, really. It's been more discussions. But the talks alone are thrilling enough for us to even have the possibility of that to happen. But right now, we're still so happy with the online audience that we have, because they're so interactive, and they have such great comments and thoughts about the characters, and we love seeing that in real time as we create the show.
Yeah, we share every video, but for different reasons. Even the video that wasn't written as a sketch, when you're driving, listening, yeah. Like even that one has been shared so many times, like within our group. Are you worried? And again, I only think that's and ask this question because you just said it. You're not worried about being like Urkel, are you? Where people only know you as Chit?
I mean, I think it's a distinct possibility, but I think I'm trying to differentiate myself as from the character as much as possible, and also in terms of like interviews like this, where I do it as myself, or as opposed to the Pee Wee Herman, where I would do it completely in character. But I could only be so lucky to be like Pee Wee Herman at the same time. So it's kind of, it's a win-win, but ideally, no, I will be able to also pursue other projects as a version closer to myself.
Were you a theater kid in high school?
No, not at all. No, I actually didn't pursue acting of any kind until 18 when I moved to LA.
So why would you all of a sudden want to act? Where did that come from?
I wish I knew. It was kind of just like this weird inkling urge that I had at 18, because I was going to go to college. I was enrolled, but I withdrew my enrollment the week before orientation. And I just said, I got to go to LA and try this acting thing. So random, I know, but I'm glad I did it.
So how long were you in California before you actually had work as an artist? And did you have to have another job in order to supplement your income?
Yeah, I had several jobs actually, but I don't think I ever hit an acting job large enough to stop me from working other jobs. But yeah, I worked at Starbucks early on. I worked as like the assistant in this furniture showroom. That then, after working there for several years, they kind of transitioned me into the marketing side, which was great. I love that company. They're so nice. But yeah, just odd jobs that didn't really align with any passion per se that I had, but that were convenient, or they worked around the acting schedule of going to random auditions or groundlings classes, which became more and more dominant in my life as the years went on.
Yeah. How did you start there? Did you start and just enroll and then work your way up? How long did that take?
Yeah, I started at Groundlings in 2013. You auditioned to take classes there, which sounds so daunting, but the audition is really just to get a good gauge of where you're currently at, so they know where best to place you. And I went through that whole program, which does take a while. I finished the main track before Sunday Company, which I know you won't know what that is, but it's a performance group at the end of the schooling. That is a new show every Sunday that you do. You write and perform a new show every Sunday. So it gets pretty tiring because you're just constantly churning out material. But it's that type of training that has prepared me and all of the other groundlings for situations like this, where suddenly there's a very real demand for creative output. And luckily we have the training to meet it.
Did you do Chit like Pee Wee did, where his was a stage show? Obviously, it was a sketch and turned into a stage show before it turned into anything else. Were you doing Chit as a character as part of that, or did it come after?
Chit never had his own stage show, but he definitely was a character that I brought into several sketches throughout my time at Groundlings. I've mentioned before that the Do It Lady sketch, Do It Lady is one of the phrases that Chit has that has become relatively viral, was a sketch that I did in Sunday Company, the program that I was just talking about. It was a birthday card signing. There were only two people in the sketch, so it was just me and another person. And I think what made the Chit version partially so successful was that there were more people to come on board and agree with him that it was a fun saying.
What was your first paying job in California, LA?
I worked at a workshop studio for casting director workshops, where a casting director would come and meet with about 30 actors, give them advice, and then usually they would see them perform a prepared piece of their choice. And I was the reader at one of those, so I would read with people with the audition sides that they brought in for the casting director. And it was very fun. I mean, I got some FaceTime with casting directors, but ultimately I think those places came under some legal trouble because people viewed it as a little too much like pay to play. So I think those were kind of disbanded, and then I moved on to Starbucks.
What about auditions?
Glamorous Starbucks.
What was the first audition that you actually got?
Oh, the very first one? The very first one was for a student film. Oh, actually, it was also a student film, but I'm thinking of a different one. But yeah, I did a high school production. Even though I was graduated from high school, I had moved to LA. I was 18, thinking like, okay, I'm going to be a serious actor. And the first thing I got was a high school production of Roald Dahl's The Landlady. But I will say that these high schoolers, it was a specifically arts high school that was focused on film production, and they had it together. It was actually exciting, especially also being in their age group, to just work with people that were so inspired and so ready to produce. So it was really fun. It was a lot of fun to do that, even though it was a high school.
I was looking at some of your IMDb and Curb Your Enthusiasm. What was your role there?
Yeah, so my Curb Your Enthusiasm role was, I will say, cut a little bit, unfortunately, from the final product, because I did have a fun little part that didn't see the light of day, sadly. But I am the juror in the final trial that Larry goes to for the finale, the season or series finale. And yeah, I don't know how much I can say about the role that like wasn't shown. Yeah. But all I'll say is there was more to it that I was pretty heartbroken was cut. So I ended up being a little bit of a glorified extra there. But, you know, I'll take it for Curb Your Enthusiasm. So
how much of your week now is dedicated to, it feels like you're doing the Sunday show, but like 3 times a week now. Like you've constantly create Chit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's 100% of the time. It is. And like I said, we're so grateful for it. It's such a creatively fulfilling thing. But yeah, it's a churn. It's a grind, as they say.
What about the wig? Is it the same wig? Did you make the wig?
What wig?
Exactly. Yes. That's not really your hair, is it?
No, no,
Okay.
God, no.
Then I started to feel like I insulted you. I was like, dude, my bad. I didn't know if you just combed it forward. Okay, go ahead.
No, that's very much a wig, but it's a great wig, and it's was given to me by a friend who actually now has his own social media following as Bistro Huddy, which is wildly popular. Drew Talbert. He gave me that wig in like 2018, 2019. And it was just for a show at Groundlings. I don't even think at that point it was meant for my Chit character. I think I was using it for this other thing. I had styled it differently, but I say he gave it to me, but I think initially it was the understanding was that I would give it back. And then once COVID happened, it was like, this is my wig now, right? But I'm glad I held on to it because I ended up using it a ton throughout my other shows at Groundlings. And then, of course, it solidified itself as the Chit wig. And it's not altered in any way. That is how the wig came. It looks like I would cut it myself, which is how we came up with the backstory for it. But yeah, that's the wig.
Are you guys gritting out ideas and then eliminating them each week? Like what's the process of a single episode? I'm imagining though too, you're doing many episodes at once, like different stages.
Yeah. So we usually write, edit, and film 2 episodes a week. So that's not to say it's the same episode that we're writing and then filming that week. Sometimes it is. Sometimes we decide that we want to insert this storyline piece into the narrative that we have growing. So we do write and then film it, like say the next day or something. But most often we've worked a little bit ahead that we're like filming things that we've written the week prior, writing things for the next week, editing things for the next like upload day.
Whenever you introduce a character like the wrestler, which she's, Chit's girlfriend, do you have to go and find someone specific, like cast that spot within your group, or they're just friends or like peers that you bring in to do it?
Yeah, well, that's where we're so lucky to be in the Groundlings main company because we truly have our pick of some of the most talented comedic actors in the world, I would say. I mean, these people have had so much training to do exactly this. So we can pick from any of I think there's 32 of us in the main company now. And we know that they're going to deliver because they just get it. They understand what we're going for. And they are friends as well because we work so closely together. But even if they weren't, I think that they would get the role anyway because they're all so right on with what they do. Their comedic instincts are so sharp.
What's been the thing about Chit that has resonated that you didn't expect to? Like maybe it was a throwaway, but people have kind of gravitated to it.
I will say specifically like the line success. I was not expecting to hit so hard. I'm glad it did, but it was just, that was to me was a throwaway in Black Purse where I was like, success. And it has like latched on to people and that's become one of his catchphrases, which I love now. I'm trying to think if there's anything on like a larger scale, less like line oriented. I don't know. I think so go ahead.
No, sorry. I think the Zoom delay caused us to bump into each other a little bit. But I also wonder, like, whenever you pick things like Red Lobster or Subway, there has to be conversations about why that's the perfect place for that character. Like, how did you land on those places?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's just like a comedic rhythm, I think, to the word. Like and also just like the public understanding of like what the perception of that place is. It all just kind of like both rhythmically and conceptually fits the mundanity of that character. So if like, there's something about Subway to me that seems so like regular life and not in a bad way. I think a lot of people love Subway, but there is something that seems like it's just part of a routine by nature. And I think Chit's life in the office, although he's had kind of an illustrious past, maybe his life in the office seems so routine, but it's the routine that he's thrilled by. It's the everyday pedestrian things that actually thrill him, that's why he loves his life and loves going to work. So I think that's what we're aiming for when we pick those slightly boring, perhaps, like details about his life. It's to show that he actually finds great enjoyment in them, as he should.
Do you have something that you've written or some project that you are super proud of that you're hoping gives you the ability or the leverage for someone to read it or to take it into production?
I have ideas. I don't think there's one like other show that or like episode, like pilot, I guess you would call it, that I've finished, but it's not ready for any eyes yet. But there are ideas. There are other ideas that I have that I'm like, oh, down the line when I have maybe a moment to think about something else, I can flesh that out a little bit more.
I've got two more questions, and my buddy Eddie here, who we always quote Chit, he's got a question or two.
Oh, great.
With Chit, when you shoot the show, is it much longer and you edit it down, or and is it all scripted? How much do people just, get to try stuff out?
We always leave a little room for improv because that's what we do at Groundlings, but the show is scripted, and Kyle and I will write the episode beforehand. It's usually around 3 to 5 pages, anywhere in there. And there's some minor deviation from the script at points, but there's also some pretty tight, like obviously punchline or like joke rhythms that we do make sure that we hit, especially in those awkward pauses that are pervasive throughout the series. Those are all like very intentional and almost like timed to a T, because it's just the right level of cringe, I guess, the right level of awkward office interaction. But yes, they're scripted, and I forget the other part of your question. I'm sorry.
Are they much longer and you edit out some of the parts?
Oh, no, they're scripted to what they almost always end up being. There's a very occasionally we've cut like a joke at the top or the bottom of the sketch if it's not needed, or like the blackout of the sketch gets shortened a little bit. But otherwise, so far at least, we've shot what we've written and uploaded what we've shot.
My final question is there an expiration in mind of either number of episodes or how long you want to do the series?
Nothing definitive right now. I think, it depends what kind of keeps happening behind the scenes with like other larger scale production ideas for the show. We might have to balance a little bit better what we can do online as well. But right now we're working on, I guess, what some people might call like a season 1, if you will. And we're approaching this, I think, pretty exciting narrative arc that some people might view as like a conclusion of the season, but who knows? I mean, they're all such short episodes. It's hard to even call them episodes, but in the online world, it feels like we are, getting close to what might be a fun denouement, I guess, for the first season. But we'll see. The audience might be like, whatever, this feels the same, but we've put a lot of effort behind it.
Yeah, this is more of a Jay. How's it going? I'm Eddie. This is more of a technical question. You guys do a great job of making it look like it's just a cell phone, and you're just shooting it, back and forth.
It is.
That's my question? Is it just a cell phone?
Yep, that's Kyle's phone, and he has some like apps that he uses to improve the production quality, and Kyle has gotten like better and better at like the sort of tech aspect of it. And also just the actual filming. I mean, it's an art in itself, the way that he's gotten so good at pacing his like whip pans and all of that. We do try and like beat those out before we start filming because we know we need to capture certain expressions. But even then, the actual act of doing it is a talent that he has really cultivated in this process.
And he's actually talking while he's filming?
Yeah, which makes it all the more impressive because he has to remember his lines. He has to remember the exact blocking of what other people are going to do to be able to catch it. And yeah, he's a multitasker for sure.
What about your eyes? Like the glasses that you wear, like they make your eyes look so big. Does it hurt shooting a segment after you're done, you're like,
you
oh
were
my
the
God.
first person actually to ask that, which is so funny because they do a little bit. At first, I will say, it was more noticeable to me. Like I would take them off after shooting and I'd be like, oh, whoa, I probably should have had some breaks there. But now I'm a little bit more conscious of taking them off once cut is called, just to give my eyes constant breaks. But I will say the concerning thing is that I don't notice the difference anymore, which when I first put them on at the beginning, I'd be like, oh, everything's blurry. And now it's not very blurry when I put the glasses on, which I think is a bad sign.
Yeah.
I think that means my eyes are changing, but anything for comedy.
So final before we let you go, did you think about doing a Chit channel and not putting on Jay Renshaw TikTok, or was it always you were just going to do it on yours?
I wish I could say there was that much forethought, but none of us expected it to do what it did. So there wasn't the anticipation really that there would ever be a Chit show like there is now. So putting it on mine or Kyle putting it on his Instagram, we just thought, let's just get this out there. And now it might seem like a smarter plan to have it be like on like a Chit show platform, but it's on mine for whatever time it's going now. So I think we're prioritizing the consistency for viewers of like, it's been here, it's staying here. You don't have to worry about finding it somewhere else, at least for the time being.
Well, congratulations. It's super inspiring to creatives to see you just make something, put it and let it organically be seen and found because it is quality work. I think a lot of people at times will feel like that can't happen because there's a system that's against them. And I think you have proven otherwise, that if it's good, it can be found. And if it's good and done consistently, it can blow up. So it's very inspiring. So congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I was off of social media for the last decade, and it was only Kyle that convinced me to come back on and shoot a few videos with him. And thank God he did.
Well, we're big fans, Jay. So yeah, thank you. And you've also given us something new to quote, because it was Borat for like 20 years. We finally get to do something else. So yeah, Jay, have a great day. Good luck. Can't wait to see what the future holds for you, man. Super talented, and thanks for the time.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
All right, Jay. See you, buddy.
All right, I'll see you.